For over 200 years, we've known that our minds play tricks on us, especially when it comes to luck. We build up these incredible mental gymnastics to protect ourselves from a simple and honestly a kind of terrifying truth. Sometimes things are just random. But what if those illusions aren't just mistakes? What if they're hardwired right into our brains? To really get what I'm talking about, let's go back in time. Picture a casino floor in Monte Carlo, absolutely buzzing with energy and anticipation. On this one night, a simple game of roulette was about to become the stuff of legend and financial ruin, all because of one of those very powerful illusions. This is the number. This is what seared that night into history. 26. 26 times in a row, the little ball on the roulette wheel landed on black. I mean, can you imagine? After the 10th spin, people started piling money on red. After the 15th, the betting got frantic. They were absolutely convinced that red was due, and they lost millions. Those gamblers were completely in the grip of what we now call the gambler's fallacy. It's that powerful gut feeling that chance is somehow a self-correcting force, that the universe keeps a balanced scorecard. But the thing is, the wheel has no memory. The odds on that next spin are exactly the same as they always are. It's a really compelling feeling, but it's a bug in our thinking, and it affects us way beyond the casino. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Our brain isn't just a one-trick pony. At the very same time we're falling for the gambler's fallacy, we can also believe in its complete and total opposite. And that is the hot-hand fallacy. We've all felt this. A basketball player drains 3 shots in a row, and we just know they're going to make the next one. We believe success breeds more success, that a person can get hot and just temporarily defy the odds through sheer momentum. And when you put them side by side like this, the contradiction just stares you in the face. With the gambler's fallacy, we expect something like a roulette wheel to reverse its streak. But with the hot-hand fallacy, we expect a person to continue theirs. So what gives? Why do we think a dice roll has to correct itself, but our own winning streak feels like destiny? Well, a study of actual casino gamblers illustrates this paradox perfectly. I mean, get this. Researchers found that the gamblers were acting on both beliefs at the same time. They would bet against a streak on the roulette wheel, following the gambler's fallacy, but after they themselves guessed correctly a few times, their confidence went through the roof. They felt that they, personally, were hot and couldn't lose, even as they were betting on the wheel to cool down. So at its core, our brain is just a pattern-matching machine, and it instinctively categorizes what it sees. When it sees sequences with long streaks, it tends to think, that looks like skill. But when it sees a sequence that jumps back and forth a lot, that feels more like true randomness, like a coin toss. So how? How can our brain hold these two completely contradictory ideas at the same time? What's the one single psychological driver that could possibly power both of these fallacies? Well, it all boils down to one incredibly powerful and common bias, the illusion of control. We are basically hardwired to believe we have agency, that our choices and our skills can influence things that are, completely random. And this isn't just a simple mistake, it's probably a survival trait. Our ancestors who believed they could influence the hunt were more motivated to try. The problem is that same instinct misfires badly when we mistake a random process for a skilled task. This really taps into our deep-seated need to feel like we're in the driver's seat of our own lives, that our skill and our effort are what matter, not just dumb luck. It's why we apply the hot-hand fallacy to ourselves. Hey, I'm on a roll because I'm good, while applying the gambler's fallacy to the machine, seeing it as this separate, flawed system that has to balance itself out. It's a mental trick we play to keep ourselves as the hero of the story. Okay, so here's the crucial part. Just knowing this information, just listening to me explain it, that isn't a magic bullet. You can't just think your way out of a cognitive bias that's this deeply ingrained. And the research on this is crystal clear. In study after study, when they explicitly warn people about the gambler's fallacy before an experiment, they still make decisions based on it. Information by itself just doesn't rewire the brain. So what does work? It's a pretty simple 2-step mental reset. First, when you feel that pull, that feeling that an outcome is due, you have to consciously stop and acknowledge it. Literally name it. Say to yourself, that's the gambler's fallacy talking. And second, and this is the absolute key, you have to treat every single event as a completely new beginning. The coin doesn't remember the last 5 heads. The dice have no memory of the last roll. That roulette wheel from 1913 didn't know it was on a streak. You have to internalize this. Each event is its own independent world, completely disconnected from whatever came before it. And make no mistake, this little cognitive bug isn't just for the casino. It pops up in some of the most critical, high-stakes decisions you can imagine. Studies have found that asylum judges, baseball umpires, even bank loan officers, they all show this bias against repeating the same outcome too many times in a row, almost as if they're afraid of breaking some unwritten law of averages. These are life-altering decisions. So I'll leave you with this question. Where in your own life are you falling into this trap? Is it in your finances, your career, maybe even your relationships? What outcome are you expecting to happen simply because you feel like it's due? What streak are you waiting for the universe to either keep going or to finally correct? The past doesn't owe you a thing, and the future isn't trying to balance the books. By recognizing these biases, you can start to treat each moment, each decision, as the fresh start it truly is. Control your emotions, and you control your outcomes. If you found this explanation valuable, please do us a favor and like, share, and subscribe to Mind Over Odds. We'll see you next time.